I think I'm going crazy. We're on rice, eating rice. I love rice. Rice like walleye, that is. Not this rice. This rice is terrible. Last year's spring was almost as terrible as this rice. It's hard like stone. And it tastes like beluga. Now the weather's perfect. I've got this COVID thing. We can't even get out. Boat ramps are blocked off around here. A lot of areas. I think it might even be illegal to fish. I'm not even sure. So that big 50K wind that you're gonna see coming up was no big deal. Sometimes these things make you appreciate even the worst of conditions. And it'll keep you positive out there. RDV, my guys with, and Alex, they're both so positive in adverse conditions. And we were able to push through it, adjust, and make a day of it on one of the toughest days I've been out there. Please excuse this footage, but it's real. Some of it's windy, and I left some of that wind sound in just so you could hear it howling. Take care, be safe, and be positive and appreciate any time you're on the water, because you never know when something like this is gonna come through. Pretty sad though. We're seeing out there the weather's so beauty. What a great spring to be out compared to last year. But here's a bit for now. Cheer up. I believe we'll be out there again. Peace. Why am I still eating this rice? Oh baby, I like it raw. Oh baby, I like it raw. I'm with RDV. He's got his own YouTube channel. Check it out. I've been featured on that. We fish muskie together. He might be a rising star in the league. You know what I mean? T.O. baby.
Learned it all from the master.
Toronto's finest. What up, piece of harness? Yo, I'm lounging. Another day, another walleye.
Oh my god. Worm harness is deadly. Worm harness is deadly. Oh my god. Worm harness is deadly. Oh my god. Worm harness is deadly.
Windy, it's so windy. Windy. It's unbelievable. 50K gusts. Oh, my arms are tied. I don't know what to do. So right here we go to our first spot in this major wind. Took us some time to get there. You can hear it howling in the background. And I started with the standard 1/4 ounce jig because I was on a jig bite the day before, and we had to downsize to an 1/8 ounce jig. With the Yamamoto grub, we actually were using a chartreuse here, but an 1/8 ounce, this is a Bass Pro one. I like that little flat head. And we're using 4-pound and 6-pound line. RDV snapped off a big one on the 4-pound, so we said, okay, let's try the 6. Something about it, the way it knifed down there and that weight of jig when the bite is off. We're in a major front. But the problem is, it's so windy and we gotta use light to get a bite. But here it is.
Yes, sir.
And a light jig. Just RDV. Like,
Nailed it.
What we figured out, like they want this 1/8 ounce jig in giant wind.
Right inside there.
Brutal. He swallowed it.
Inhaled it.
Just breathed it in.
I didn't feel anything. All of a sudden it was just waiting. It sat.
Do you think you hit off bottom, or do you think you hit?
Oh, it was definitely on bottom. I let it sit.
That's a good sign when they're eating it like that.
Aggressive.
Yeah, well, you got the right weight.
Yeah.
If you're hooking them on the outside or whatever.
Yeah.
But the problem is, look how windy it is. It's so hard.
Yeah, it's so hard to feel the bottom of it.
They are still there. So we're with Uncle and RDV, and we just started ripping finesse fish rather than hair. We tried ripping hair, nothing. As soon as I'm ripping the finesse fish, there it is, whammo. Lost him and then got him back. So hopefully we're onto something, hopefully.
Put this guy back.
But we gotta put him back. He's over, just over. So the area we're fishing is like a 11 to 12 foot weed line, and the finesse grub jig bite died. We went to something more provokish, like a hair jig. Ripping hair is a big thing in the Kawarthas in the spring for walleye. Really good when the bite's off. You rip it, they react, no bite. Boo! Then we just switched to ripping a 1/4 ounce finesse fish. Love these, they stay on the moon eye head really well. Rip that and bang. I think we got one, lost another, and lost another. Now that bite fizzles. The ripping, the provoke off. We adjust again. We know the fish are there. We go to the last draw, the worm harness. But this one's, I like this Northland one with the floater on it. Has tiny blades. Fire Tiger, chartreuse, we're all good. I think chartreuse was a bit better than the rest. We rigged that with a 1/4 ounce weight directly on the line, a bead, then to the line like this, boom, boom. 1/4 ounce tungsten bead, then to the harness. And then we baited it up with a worm. Half worm was better. They were very nippy. All the fish were biting the back hook. Most of them were hooked on the back hook. They weren't very aggressive. 1.3 to 1.5 miles an hour. Just holding the rod there, ticking weeds. And every now and then would tick and then come free, they would hit it. And that was a triggering mechanism. I think that floater is really good too, because it forces that harness with a small base just to hover there. It's not too overpowering. And it's easy for them to breathe in when that bite's really finicky. Blade's too big and everything's too heavy. This type of day, maybe not. And we're fishing 11 and 12 foot weed lines mainly, right? So we're just ticking it. Bang, seems to pay off. Check it out. Went to a harness, the lighter weight. This thing is a 1/4 ounce tungsten. Missed 2 bites on the old harness. So windy, it's hard to feel the light jig. And we got one. On a tough one. It's a tough day. Pull it, eh? I got the net. Nice one. Oh, the old green. Mr. Green. Woo. Artie B. Number two. Nice one, Artie. Good job, buddy. Good feel. Just in. Beautiful.
The worm harness is deadly.
Volume mark. Even more cheap in ghetto. Here's my chicken box lottery tackle box. It's not even brand name, some value mart chicken box I find on the ground. My tackle box explodes, so I throw it in there. Now I'm looking for a 1/4 ounce, and that 1/4 ounce made all the difference. We went from a 3/8 to a 1/4 for Alex, and then he started getting hooked up. And before that, he hooked the motor in the windy chaos. Just crazy out there, but we made the best of our day, man, and we keep chipping it out. You see on the left there, the weeds are just starting to grow in that 10.6 feet area. Normally they're way thicker, but last year's spring the weeds never came up till late and they were really not defined, clean weed edge. So on the right side you can see there's kind of structure there. We're trolling the edge plus lots of structure. The added structure seemed to hold them a bit better than straight weed lines. I think it was because of the lack of clean weed growth. So our odds kind of went up when we went into a structure plus sporadic weed. Right here's the fish that fills our limit. We limit out in a big time grind in big time weather. We had to use a whole bunch of different patterns to finish the limit. But sometimes when the conditions are tough is when you learn the most. So, sometimes you got to use a whole bunch of different patterns, and that is the pattern on the tough days.
Fighting now.
Yeah. So windy.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Nice.
Limit. Woo. Limit.
Chipped it out. Yeah. Unbelievable. Oh my God. One of the most miserable, cold, nasty May days I've ever seen on Rice Lake in my entire life. And a new record low with Taro Murata. How do you feel about that, RDB? Not so good.
I don't like to be associated with that sort of stuff.
There's nothing to do with you.
It's
You're
real.
contributed. You're our clutch guy, our go-to guy. Clutch buddy.
It was a success.
It was a success. Yeah. It was a success. With the cards we were dealt, we played them the best we could.
Yes.
Peace out.